Students, the other day we have read in Bravo Manju that even with two fingers on each hand, painting was no problem for her. But when she overheard the conversation between her mother and father, she learned that her father was doubtful that would she ever become an artist with hands such as hers. This conversation discouraged her and she thought of giving up painting forever. But she was encouraged by her mother not to do so. Now we'll read page number 18. Manju, her mother's voice reached her from far away. So her mother called her from a distant place. Will you give me a hand? So she's calling her for help. Your papa is going to Mumbai next week. I have to take out his suit from the trunk. So Manju's mother, Mrs. Parekar, is calling her to help her out to take out a trunk. Manjula helped her mother take down the steel trunk. Mrs. Parekar opened it, but then she shut it again. Mrs. Parekar opened it, but some thought was there in her mind, and that thought disturbed her to such an extent that she could not concentrate on what she was doing, and she shut it again. She turned to Manju decisively. Decisively means in a decidingly manner. Manju, I would like to talk to you. And before she could complete the sentence, Manjula interrupted. Mother, please, interrupted the girl, her dark eyes burning. Her dark eyes burning. Don't, Mrs. Parekar gripped her daughter firmly, realizing that what her mother is going to talk about, Manjula stopped her from talking about it. Mrs. Parekar gripped her daughter firmly by the shoulder and looked her straight in the eye, her voice firm with determination. She said, but this time Mrs. Parekar was determined and she looked straight in her eyes and she said, don't give in. Don't give in means don't admit defeat. Manju, there is so much in you. There is a lots of potential in you. You are quite capable. That other girls don't have, and the caliber that you have is not found in other girls. Let it come up and let your talent come up and let the world see it. Even if you have to fight and even if you have to go against the world, you should. Fight, Manju, fight. Manju's throat was thick with tears, and Manju's throat, she was feeling very close to crying. She turned away from her mother and dashed to her room. She turned away. She was not in a position to talk or to discuss that topic anymore, and she turned away and ran towards her room, flinging herself, throwing herself on the bed and burying her face in the pillow. And she went back to her room, flinging on the bed and burying her face in the pillow. She started crying. When at last she sat up, and after some time, when she sat up, she got up, her eyes fell on a newspaper cutting on the table. She saw a newspaper cutting lying on the table. Strange, she thought. I did not keep it there. And all of a sudden, she thought that the newspaper cutting, how come that newspaper cutting was there, as though she has never kept it. Puzzled, she was quite puzzled by it. But she quickly picked it up and read. The newspaper read that playing football with artificial feet. This was the heading of an article on that newspaper cutting. And what was the heading? Playing football with artificial feet. The bold heading screamed at her, and that bold heading was telling her, was screaming at her, was telling her something. In New Hampshire, she read on. Richard Belanger, and she read that in New Hampshire, a person named Richard Belanger, who had lost his feet in a train accident, decided to play football with artificial feet. His coach thought it was ridiculous. His parents did not like it. So his very idea of playing with artificial feet was considered ridiculous by his coach, and even his parents did not like it. But Belanger stuck to it and made it to the North Shore team as the defender. But Belanger, though he was not believed by others, but still he stuck to his decision, and finally he made it to the North Shore team as a defender. Manjula dropped the clipping. When she read the clipping, she was so motivated, inspired, that she dropped the clipping. What a brave boy, she thought. She did not give up. He played on despite what other people said. So she was really motivated by this story, and she said that he did not give up and he played on despite what other people said. Perhaps her mother was right. And then she related her story with Richard Belanger. And finally, she found that her mother was correct and she should pursue her dream of being a great artist. She had to fight on like Richard Belanger, and she had to fight like just like Richard Belanger. Manjula walked over to her cupboard, hunted through the pile of clothes, and pulled out her colors and brushes. Manjula walked over to her cupboard, and then she hunted for her colors that she has already kept it in a corner of the cupboard, and then she took them out. On the day of the on-the-spot painting competition, immediately after the breakfast, her brother said, "I'm off. Ma, Ratan and I are helping at the entrance gate." He says, "I'm through and I'm going to help at the entrance gate. They are expecting a big crowd, and my school is expecting a big crowd for this on-the-spot painting competition." Turning to Manjula, he said casually, and then he turned towards Manjula and he said casually, "Pity, you are not coming." He says, "I feel sorry that you are not a part of it. I'm sure you would have won a prize, but I'm very much sure that if you would have been a part of it, you would have definitely bagged the first prize." "I might still win one," Manjula replied. Manjula said, "No, I might win one," as casually as she could, and she pretended to be very casual at her answer. "Manju, does that mean you are participating?" Amol jumped up and hugged Manjula. Amol, out of excitement, jumped up and hugged his sister. He said, "That means you are participating? I knew you would do it. I was sure you wouldn't give in." Manjula freed her hands and answered softly, "If Richard Belanger could do it, why not Manjula Parelkar?" Her brother looked at her. A broad smile spread over his face. Do you know why there was a broad smile? Reason? Because this cutting has been placed in his room by her brother. Her brother looked at her. A broad smile spread over his face. "Richard Belanger?" Mrs. Parelkar asked, surprised. "Who is Richard Belanger?" Richard Belanger, spoke Manjula, and her brother together plays football with artificial feet. Isn't that something? So, with this, we conclude the chapter. We'll continue later with the back exercises. Thank you.